Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. So today I'm going to explain you about the most trending API and that is OpenAI API. So before jumping on to the actual concept, I just wanted to tell you something. So in the first part of the video, I will be covering what is OpenAI API and also some of the terms which we might have heard before, but we don't know the exact meaning of those terms, right? So I will be covering all those terms, and in the second part of the video, I will be explaining you the step-by-step procedure of how to get started with this OpenAI API, and you can just implement that in your computers. And last but not the least, we are going to experiment something new. That is, we are going to write our own code and just check whether it's going to work or not. Interesting, right? So watch the video till the end. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So let's start our video with introduction of this OpenAI API. So OpenAI API is an API platform provided by OpenAI, a research organization dedicated to creating and promoting friendly AI that benefits humanity. So the OpenAI API provides access to the state-of-the-art machine learning models, allowing developers to integrate these models into their applications. But what is the state of the art machine learning models? This term is somewhat, odd, right? It is not odd. Let us just take out the meaning of that word. So the state of the art machine learning model. So we can see machine learning model itself is showing that this one is related to the machine learning field. So let's take out the definition of the state of the art machine learning model. So the state of the art machine learning models are the most advanced and accurate models available at any given time for a particular task in the field of machine learning. So you can see that these models are available at any given time for a particular task, and also these models are widely used in many applications such as computer vision, natural language processing, speech recognition, recommendation systems, etc. So now it's clear that what is this state of the art machine learning model, right? So these are the models available at any given time for a particular task. Now let's check out the definition again. So these are the models which are available at any given time for a particular task. So these models are basically used by the developers to integrate them into the application. So they are integrating them into the applications, and also they are doing so to perform a wide range of tasks such as text generation, translation, question answering, and summarization. Okay, let's move on to the next part, that is language model. So we might have heard this word language model. They have used this language model basically in OpenAI API. They have used GPT-3 language model. So before going on to the GPT-3, first understand what is this language model. So a language model is a statistical model that is used to predict the likelihood of a sequence of words in a language. It means that the primary goal of this language model is to assign a probability to a sentence or a sequence of words such that the highly probable sequences are likely to be grammatically correct and semantically meaningful. Okay, so that is what we are doing here. So we will be assigning a probability to a sentence so that the highly probable sequences are likely to be grammatically correct and semantically meaningful. And these language models are widely used in natural language processing, that is NLP, applications such as machine translation, speech recognition, text generation, and more. Okay, let's move to the next part, that is GPT-3. So the GPT means generative pre-trained transformer 3. Okay, so it's a type of language model developed by OpenAI. So we have seen what is language model, right? So that is a language model which is being developed by OpenAI. So GPT models are deep learning models that have been pre-trained on large amounts of text data, allowing them to generate high quality text based on the input they receive. Okay, so here what is happening is that they are actually taking a pre-trained model, which means the model is already being trained on a large amount of text data, and they are just taking that model and implementing that. So here these are basically called generative because they are designed to generate text rather than classifying or predicting a label for text. Okay, Then the part transformer comes. So what is this transformer part? So this name comes from the architecture which is being used in the model. So which is based on the transformer architecture introduced in the paper. Attention is all you need. Okay, so the transformer architecture is basically well suited to natural language processing tasks and has proven to be highly effective for tasks such as language generation and machine translation. And that is the reason why OpenAI is using GPT-3 as a language model. Then comes the next one, that is lesser known facts about the OpenAI API. So some of the lesser known facts about this API is the first part is customization. The OpenAI API allows for customization of the language model to meet specific requirements. For example, the API can be fine-tuned to generate text in a particular style or with a specific tone. And the second one is integration. So the API can be integrated with other tools and platforms such as chatbots and virtual assistants to provide a more natural and human-like interaction experience. And the third one is the security. So OpenAI takes security and privacy very seriously, and the API has been designed with security measures in place to protect user data and prevent unauthorized access. Okay, then the fourth one is multiple languages. So this OpenAI API supports multiple languages, including English, Spanish, German, and others. Then the flexibility. The API can be used for a wide range of applications, from content generation and text summarization to question answering and language translation. So these are just a few of the lesser known facts of this OpenAI API. Okay, so now that we have got to know all the terms and their meanings as well, so we are ready to get into the practical implementation part. So let's go and implement this OpenAI API practically in our computers. First of all, go to the google.com and type in OpenAI API and go to the first link here. Now, if you want to read the documentation, click on this link. And you can just read everything about OpenAI. But here I want to go to quick start. And you can see the example here. If you are providing a prompt as write a tagline for an ice cream shop, then it will show you we serve up smiles with every scoop. Interesting, right? So there are a lot more examples here. If you want to, then you can just go through all of them. And now come to the fourth step. So we want to build our application, right? So you can use node.js here. Otherwise, you can use Python as well. So I want to use Python. So I'm clicking on that. And in order to set up this, you require Python. So if you don't have Python installed, then you can just install it from here. Then download the code by cloning this repository. So you have to clone this Git repository. You have to just copy this and clone the Git repository. And if you don't prefer to use Git, then you can alternatively download the code using this zip file as well. So I want to use the zip file. So let me just click on this link. And you can see the download is getting started now. So first go to the downloads folder and you have to extract all the files. Extract all. Right click and click on extract all and then extract. So all the files have been extracted here. Okay. So the next step is we want to go to Visual Studio. Let's go to Visual Studio from here. Visual Studio Code. Okay. So this will open Visual Studio Code for us. Okay, so you can see OpenAI Quick Start, Python Master. So we have all this here. Okay, so these are all the files. What is the next step then? Now, So the next step is add your API key. So in that, navigate into your project directory and make a copy of the example environment variables file. Okay, let me go to the Visual Studio. So this is the .env.example file. So this is the one. We have to make a copy of it. Okay, let me copy this. Control C. And let me create one more file and name that file as .env. Okay, so that is what we have to create, right? Click on enter and copy this here. And here we have to copy the API key. Okay, let me go here. Copy your secret API key and set it as the OpenAI underscore API underscore key in your newly created .env file. If you haven't created a secret key yet, you can do so below. So click on this create new secret key and then copy that secret key. Copy the secret key and you have to paste that here. Okay. So now what is the next step? We have to run our app. So firstly, we have to create a virtual environment for that. So let's go to the CMD now. Go to the folder where you have this OpenAI Quick Starter Python master. Then type in CMD. Now, okay. Now type in Python -m VNV and instead of VNV, let us write OpenAI because that is what we are doing here, right? So it has successfully created a virtual environment for us. So the next step is we have to change the directory cd OpenAI. Click enter. So you can see here OpenAI. Okay. So what is the next step is we have to type in scripts /activate. Click enter. Yes. So we can see OpenAI here. Okay. So again, we have to change the directory, and you have to paste this path because that is where we have to go. The path where you have all these files, okay? Copy this path and paste it here. Great. So now you are in this environment, virtual environment, OpenAI virtual environment, and in this path. Okay. So what is the next step? You have to install the requirements.txt. So copy this and paste it here. So what are all the requirements for this OpenAI? It will be installing all those, libraries, everything. So as you can see here, we have successfully installed all the requirements. So let us see what is the next step. Yes, the last step is Flask run. So we are running our application. So before running our application, I just wanted to explain you the code. Let's go to the Visual Studio Code and go to app.py. So here we are importing OS and OpenAI, and also we are using Flask. So what is this Flask basically? So Flask is a web framework. It's a Python module that lets you develop web applications very easily, and that is the reason why we are using Flask here. And then as you can see here, OpenAI.API key. So we have API key here in .env. So we are just importing that API key here. Okay. Then here, what we are doing is this. So the main function of the application is defined by the index function here, as you can see. So which handles both get and post requests to the root URL. So we are using get and post requests here. So if the request is post, then the code extracts the animal parameter from the form data and generates a prompt for the OpenAI API's text completion. Okay, so it generates a text completion. So what is this text completion? So it basically refers to the capability of the API to complete a given prompt or text by generating a continuation of the text based on the understanding of the input provided. So it means that so whenever the user is providing any input, it has to generate a continuation of that text based on the understanding. Okay, so that is what it will be doing. Next one is the prompt is generated by the generate prompt function. Here you can see the generate prompt function is here, and it contains a description of an animal. So description of an animal and a request to suggest three names for an animal that is a superhero. Okay, so we want to find out the three names for an animal that is a superhero. So the generate prompt function returns a string that includes the animal type passed as an argument. So basically this one will be returning a string. Okay. Then the OpenAI API is then called using the OpenAI.completion.create method. So we are using this method. Okay. And also here we are passing the model. So what is this model? It is just saying that text DaVinci 003. As I've mentioned before, that OpenAI is basically using GPT-3 language model, right? But here it is using text DaVinci. So what is this text DaVinci? So it is nothing but a smaller and more specified version of GPT-3. Okay, it's a smaller and more specified version of GPT-3 optimized for creative writing tasks. So here we want to write creative names. We want a creative names for our animals, right? We want a creative name for our pet, basically. So that is the reason why we are using this smaller and more specified version of the GPT-3. And then what else? Yeah, prompt. So again, what are we doing here is that we are generating a prompt. So we are giving this function, generate prompt function here, and then temperature. Yeah, so this temperature parameter sets the level of randomness in the generated text. Okay, then okay, this one, the code then redirects the user to the root URL. Okay, then appending the first choice of the generated text completion as a query string to the URL. So this is what it is doing here. Then what if the request method is get? So if the request method is get, then the code extracts the result parameter from the URL's query string and renders the index.html template, and it will pass the result as a parameter here. Okay, so that is what it is doing. Then the rendered HTML template displays the generated result to the user at the end. So this is what is happening in this whole code. After understanding the whole code, let us just implement this one practically. Okay, go to the command prompt now and type what we have to type, flask run, right? Let me check. Yes, flask run. Okay, let me type flask run. Let's see whether it will work or not. So the server is running, serving Flask app. Environment is development. Okay, so it is starting. Yes, so it is running on this IP address. Okay, let me copy this IP address from here. So let me just paste this IP address here. Click on enter. And it is opening and it is saying name my pet. Okay, let me write dog. Okay, let me click on this generate names, and yes, it is generating names. Super Sniffer, Guardian of the Park, Mighty Paws. Perfect. We have got the output. Okay, so let's go to the third step, which is the last step, last but not the least. So we are going to experiment something new, I said, right? It means we are going to write our own code and test whether it's going to work or not. Okay, so let me go to the Visual Studio here. And okay, Let me copy this. Let me copy the whole code and paste this below. Okay. And now what am I going to do is I'm going to comment this code, the above code till here. Okay. Yes. So in the previous one, we have considered name my pet. But here, let me consider coffee. So let us just try if we can name our own coffee shop. Let me see if we can give a creative name to our coffee shop. So let us just type coffee shop here, and we have to copy this and we have to put this here, and then even here we have to paste it. Then what else can we change? Okay, here we have to put coffee shop here, right? Then suggest 3 names for my coffee shop. Okay, that is what we are going to do for my coffee shop. Okay, so we have to paste coffee shop, and instead of writing here as cat, we can just write coffee. Okay, let me delete this one. I don't require this one. So names, we can just name them. We can name them as Starbucks, or we can say cafe coffee day, or we can say what else can we say? Casta coffee. Okay, yeah. So here also we have to change this one to coffee shop. Okay, and here as well, just replace the animal to coffee shop. That's it. That's your job. And I think we are done, and we don't have any problems also. No problems have been detected in the workspace. That is good. Okay, what else can we do? Let me go to the index.html because we have to design our website also, right? So title, let it be same, OpenAI Quick Start, because that is what we are doing. And here file name .png. So before one we were using name my pet, right? So there they were using this dogs icon. Okay, so we can change that. So we can just download one coffee image from here, from Google. Coffee image. Okay, coffee images basically. And let's see some interesting images of coffees so that we can keep it there in our web page. Okay, let me include this one. This is nice actually. Okay, let me save this, save image as, and just wanted to show you something where we have to show this actually. Is that, here what we have seen. So this doc png is there in static folder. Okay, doc png is in static folder. Okay, so we have to save our coffee image in that static folder only. Okay, so let me go to that folder. So this is the static folder, And let me save this as coffee. That's it. Save. Now it is saved. We can see coffee.jpg is here. Okay. Now we can easily go to the index.html and we can just write here as coffee.jpg. Okay. Here also we have to change it. Change this to coffee.jpg. Okay, so this will be our icon. And here the heading is name my pet. We can change this to name my coffee shop. And what else can we change? Text. So here we don't want animal, right? We want coffee shop. Coffee shop. Okay, so enter an animal. So placeholder, we can just write it as enter coffee. Okay, and submit generate names. Okay, perfect, everything is done. Okay, so let me just stop this flask. We have to press Ctrl C. Yes, now we can again type in flask run and just check out whether our website is working or not. So it is starting. Okay, let me copy the IP address from here. Control C and paste it here. Oh wow, this is working. You can see name my coffee shop. But wait, what is this? This is very small. This icon is very small, yeah. This will not make a good user experience. What shall we do? Okay, we'll make it larger. Let's go to the Visual Studio again. We have to go to main.css to make it larger. And let's see what is happening here. We want icon, right? Yeah. Here the width of the icon is 34 pixel. Let me make this to 100 pixel. Okay, this will look somewhat good according to me. And then we have to go to this. We have to stop our flask, then run that again. Okay, let me copy this, and so let me paste it here. Control V and just check whether the icon has increased its size or not. Yes, it has increased its size. Let me type in coffee here. Yeah. And yes, it is generating the names. Latte Long, Mocha Madness, Java Junction. So here you can also type in coffee shop. It will work out even that way. It will give some other output. The Coffee House, Brewed Awakenings, Roasted Java. So now it is perfectly working. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any suggestions, then please try to share with me. You're always welcome. And if you have any questions, then please put them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer all of your questions. Thanks once again. Bye-bye.